Hello everyone, welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel, and today I am here to talk about the most recent episode of Friday Night Smackdown, specifically the Smackdown after Money in the Bank. Let's get into it. So, the show kicked off with the never-seen-before, 17-time John Cena, and basically he was talking about how he's the greatest wrestler of all time, as we all know. Mount Rushmore, John Cena, John Cena, John Cena, and you guessed it, John Cena. And then he gets interrupted by Cody Rhodes, who reminds him that he pinned Cena at Money in the Bank. And Randy Orton also comes out and's like, he wants another crack at John Cena for that title. And then LA Knight comes out and he's like, I want that title too. So basically, Cena just kept getting interrupted left and right. And then after all that, we finally get into one of the first four, and yes, you heard me correctly, four King of the Ring matches tonight. Actually, King and Queen of the Ring. There was two King of the Ring matches and two Queen of the Ring matches, quarterfinal matches, I believe they were. But we're going to get into one of them. Kicking us off, we had a fair four match between LA Knight, Randy Orton, Carmelo Hayes, and Aleister Black. And I think you can probably guess who won this one just because he's kind of a legend killer. He's a Viper, you know. So it actually looked like LA Knight was about to win, but then Bronson Reed showed up out of nowhere and yanked him off the top rope as he was going for the elbow, and then Braun Breaker followed up with a spear, basically costing LA Knight the match, like how he costed Braun Breaker the qualifying match on Raw last Monday. And then Carmelo Hayes was going for a frog splash on LA Knight to capitalize, but then he got caught from a RKO from Randy Orton, which arguably was a top 5 RKO. I would check that out because it was insane. But Carmelo Hayes technically connected with a frog splash to LA Knight, and Randy Orton RKO'd Carmelo Hayes, who sent him out of the ring. So then Randy Orton was able to capitalize and pin LA Knight for the win. So now Randy Orton is moving on to the semifinals in the King of the Ring tournament, and that's interesting. And then we had, before I get into this next Queen of the Ring match, we actually had Jacob Fatu come out to the ring and explain why he turned on Solo Sikoa at Money in the Bank this past weekend. And Solo eventually appeared on the Titantron, and he said Jacob Fatu made a mistake at Money in the Bank, but he can forgive him if he says 4 words, I love you, Solo, next week. So they're going to go face-to-face next week, I'm guessing, and I could potentially see the debut of a new Bloodline member, or maybe even the return of the Tongans, possibly. What interests me about the Tongans is I wonder whose side they will be on, because last time we saw them, they were with both Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. So it would interest me, like, which side would they choose? Would they want to be on Solo's side, or would they want to be on Jacob Fatu's side? That would be interesting to me. But then, also, I want to get into one of the other Queen of the Ring matches, which was a Fatal 4 match between Jade Cargill, Piper Niven, Nia Jax, and Michin. So, the interesting thing about this is Nia Jax is actually the former Queen of the Ring winner. She's the reigning. She was last year's Queen of the Ring. So, I was like, okay, she's probably a favorite going into this, but also in that same aspect, since Nia Jax won it last year, I don't really want to see her win it again. So I don't see her moving on past this first round matchup here. And I was right, because Jade Cargill got the win. So now Jade Cargill is moving on to the second round of the Queen of the Ring tournament. And then we had a tag team match between the veterans, the Motor City Machine Guns, taking on the team of the Wyatt Six, specifically Joe Gacy and Dexter Lumis. And as you can probably guess, the Wyatt Six got an easy win. Dexter Lumis has this new finisher now where he does like a leg drop off the top rope. That was kind of interesting. It's kind of like Fandango's old move, if you remember what I'm talking about. But yeah, he did that, and the Wyatt Six got the win over the Motor City Machine Guns. And then we had another promo segment, John Cena. I forgot to mention this earlier, but this is the second time John Cena came out during the night. We saw a lot of him on Smackdown last night. So John Cena basically came out and said he wants Truth, because Truth, I forgot to mention this earlier, I think, but Truth beat him up on the ramp when Cena was walking out at the beginning of the night. So Cena was angry that Truth attacked him, and he wanted him to come out. But then before we could even get that, CM Punk actually interrupted him instead, and Cena and Punk went back and forth on the mic, so you can probably imagine how well that went. That was really cool as a fan to see, especially if you watched WWE during, like, the summer of Punk, like, 2011 to 2013, when CM Punk and John Cena were going head-to-head, like, all the time. Like, this was nostalgic for a lot of people, I'm sure, and I was sitting there watching, just amazed by CM Punk's incredible promo work. He's great on the mic, and also John Cena just kind of sat there, let him roast him for a little bit, and then he had some one-liners too that he cooked him with. I'm just like, this promo is really good. And then, of course, CM Punk was going to walk out, and R-Truth actually attacked him from behind yet again. And CM Punk had another funny one-liner as he was walking out. I think, like, when Truth started attacking him, and Punk grabbed the mic again, and was like, there's the truth for you, or something like that. I was like, that's funny right there. because Truth was attacking him, and so he said the Truth's right there. Like, that's funny. And then we had another Queen of the Ring qualifying match. We're going to get to one more Queen of the Ring match and one more King of the Ring match before we get off this video, guys. The last and final Queen of the Ring matchup was a Fatal 4 match between who I thought was going to win, Charlotte Flair, Alba Fire, Alexa Bliss, and Candice LeRae. So, like I said, I thought Charlotte Flair was going to win. My prediction was that Charlotte Flair was going to win the entire Queen of the Ring tournament to go on and face Tiffany Stratton in a rematch from WrestleMania. For the WWE Women's Championship at SummerSlam, I thought that's what they were going to go in for sure, because that's what they've been teasing here lately, and I know they had a thing going on with Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, too, so I was like, maybe not. I was actually completely wrong. They had Alexa Bliss win the match instead. Charlotte Flair almost made Alba Fire tap out, but then Alexa Bliss hit the Sister Abigail on Candice LeRae and pinned her for the win instead. So that was interesting, because Alexa Bliss kind of stole the win from Charlotte Flair. And now I wonder what Charlotte Flair is going to do next, since she is no longer in the Queen of the Ring tournament. Like I said, I know I haven't talked about much on the channel, but my prediction for Queen of the Ring was going into it was Charlotte Flair, and I am already wrong on the second Queen of the Ring match that we got. So that's insane to me. But yeah, what do you guys think about Alexa Bliss winning? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say. And then we had the main event match, the second and final King of the Ring quarterfinals match of the night. Cody Rhodes, whoa, versus Damian Priest versus Shinsuke Nakamura versus Andrade. And as you can probably guess on this one, it's obviously the American Nightmare. Cody Rhodes gets the win in this one. So now Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton move on to the second round. What interests me about this, and then I'll be done, Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton are on opposite sides of the bracket, if you know what I mean. So, like, Randy Orton's on the left side facing Sami Zayn in the semifinals, and Cody Rhodes is on the right side facing, I presume, Jey Uso in the semifinals. I know it's not confirmed for sure yet, but I'm going to predict Jey Uso is going to win that Fatal 4 on Raw this Monday, and I think we'll get Cody versus Jey in the semifinals. And then if it works out this way, I think Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton will be the finals of the King of the Ring qualifier at Night of Champions. That's going to be interesting to see, because there's, quote, a lot of legacy there. So, because, Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton used to have this faction called Legacy. So that's going to be interesting. I've been wanting that dream match for a while, and I think we might be finally getting it at Night of Champions, along with John Cena defending the title against CM Punk. So I'm really excited for Night of Champions here in a couple weeks. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I'm going to sound off here. That's going to do it for the video. Thank you guys for helping me reach my 50 subscriber goal. I made a post on my YouTube channel, but I definitely recommend subscribing as well so you don't miss it later. I plan to do my first ever YouTube live stream sometime between 2 to 3 o'clock later this evening. So definitely stay tuned for that. Please hit the subscribe button, like the video, comment your thoughts on Smackdown from last night, any hot takes, and I'll reply to you. But that's going to do it for the video today. I love you all, guys. Take care, and peace out.